Hello paper crafters, I'm so sorry I have been missing lately, but that is because I was working on a new product that is coming out soon. Anyway, now it's time for the day 5 of my holiday tutorial series, and today we are going to create a really detailed Christmas card. So let's get started. You know, I love framed cards, so I'm going to start by creating a frame. So I'm going to trim down a piece of white cardstock to 7 by 7 inches using my paper trimmer. Then I'm going to use a 6 by 6 inch square die. I'm just centering it on my piece of cardstock, taping it down, sending it through the die cutting machine, and here I have my open frame. Next I'm going to create a card base. So I have trimmed down one piece of cardstock to 7 1/4 by 7 1/4, and the other one is about 1/2 inch longer. And so I'm scoring this piece at 7 1/4 inches to create the hinge. I'm folding down the tab, and now both pieces of cardstock are 7 1/4 by 7 1/4. Then I'm applying a strong adhesive tape onto that hinge. I'm pressing it down with a bone folder, peeling off the liner, and then I'm going to attach the other piece of cardstock onto that hinge. And this is how I get a large card base. The next step is really simple. I just have to attach the background onto the card base. So I have chosen one sheet of 6 by 6 patterned paper from my stash, and I'm sticking it down using the double-sided tape. This background is actually going to be the wallpaper in the room, so I have chosen the small floral pattern. Next I'm going to create the wall paneling and the floor. I'm going to use another piece of patterned paper from the same collection so that the colors coordinate. I'm placing it inside the Elegant Room Embossing folder by Paper Discovery, and I'm aligning the edge of the paper with the edge of the wood paneling. I have sent it through the die cutting machine just as usual, and now I'm going to trim off the excess paper. As you see, this embossing folder is quite versatile, and you don't even have to emboss the entire room each time. You can only do the parts if you want to. So now I have masked off the paneling part with a piece of cardstock. And now I'm applying the ground Espresso Distress ink onto the floor area. This ink is going to look a little bit lighter when it dries. I'm also going to add some color to the panels, so I'm applying the same ink, but this time I'm being really light-handed. I'm moving all across the panel area, and I'm trying to color only the raised areas. When I'm finished with the coloring, I'm going to apply some adhesive again at the wrong side of the panel, and I'm sticking it down onto my card. And as always, the tools and supplies I'm using are going to be listed in the description area as well as on my blog. Next, I have applied the double-sided foam tape at the wrong side of the open frame, and I'm sticking it down onto the card front as well. Now my empty room is ready, and I really like how realistic it looks, and now I'm ready to fill it in with the different elements. I'm only using Paper Discovery dies today, and this set is called Tag Window Editions. I have die cut and embossed the curtains out of vellum. Then I'm applying a really small amount of Ranger Multimedia Matte adhesive at the top of the curtains, and I'm going to layer all the elements. This glue is not really going to show through. This is the first time I'm using vellum with those dies, and I simply love the result. These tiny two dies are also the part of the set, and they are there for a reason. They create those tie-ups for the curtains. So I have just applied some glue onto that areas, and I'm sticking down those tiny white strips onto the curtains. Next, I'm going to create the window for those curtains. So I've die cut the window 3 times out of dark brown cardstock, and I'm going to layer all 3 die cuts to make the window dimensional. This window is just the right size for the curtains. Next, I'm going to create the background behind the window. So I've used the same outline die that I used for the window, and notice that patterned paper with the falling snow in it. This paper is actually a sneak peek of a future product. So the window came together pretty quickly, and now I'm going to apply just a tiny amount of glue at the very top of the window and stick down my curtains onto it. Since there are 3 layers of vellum, the glue is not really going to show through. When the glue is dry, I'm flipping the window over and I'm applying some double-sided tape at the wrong side of the window, and then I can place it right onto my card. I'm moving it a little bit to the left side. Since the curtains are only attached at the top, I really felt I need more glue, so I'm applying it only behind the tie-ups. And I'm pressing down the curtains, and this glue is going to be enough to hold the curtains on their place. This die is actually a window ledge, and it is also a part of Window Edition's die set. I'm applying some ground espresso ink, using the die as a stencil, and this time I'm not going to use it as the window ledge. I'm going to use it differently, and you'll see that later. This sofa die is my absolute favorite. You have probably seen me using it a lot. So today I'm going to try and use it a bit differently. I'm going to transform this sofa into a window seat. I have used these 2 dies to die cut a background and the frame, and I have trimmed off the top part of this frame, and now I'm using the scissors as well as the craft knife to trim off the back from the sofa. You can also trim off the sides, but I decided to keep them. Now I'm applying a thin line of glue at the top edge of that window ledge, and I'm sticking down the sofa onto it. And what is going to create, it's going to be the little steps in front of that old-fashioned window seat. I have used the same die to die cut the upholstery. I've used the patterned paper again for it, and now I'm inlaying all the pieces into the background. Now it's time to attach that window seat right in front of the window. So I have applied some foam squares at the wrong side, and I'm also going to use some flat adhesive, that is to level up the die cuts. I simply enjoy working with this furniture die set because you can create different room settings each time and really be a designer. The next element I want to add is that side table. I've die cut it 3 times just like I did with the window, and I layered all 3 die cuts, and now I'm attaching the table at the side of the sofa. Now it's time for adding smaller embellishments and seasonal decorations. So the next 2 elements are going to be this glass vase and the decorated candle. as for the vase, I've put the die cut back into the die and I have applied some faded jeans distress ink through the die to decorate the vase, and then I'm going all around the edges using the same ink. I have die cut the candle out of white cardstock as well as out of green patterned paper, and now I'm trimming off the candle from the leaves. It is very easy to do since there are some lines indicated by the die. Then I have stuck down the green leaves onto the candle and I used the yellow and red markers to color the flames. As a small finishing touch, I'm also adding this red poinsettia flower to the candle. It is also the part of the set. And now I'm going to attach those elements onto the side table. Again, I'm using the foam squares as well as the flat adhesive. Next, I'm going to create a little flower arrangement to put into the vase. Actually, it's not little, it's going to be quite large. These pine needles are the part of Wreath Builder die set. I've die cut them out of dark green as well as out of lighter green. So now I'm applying some glue and sticking down the darker branch as if it's sticking out of the vase. Then I'm adding a lighter green branch and I'm shaping the needles slightly with my fingers to give them more dimension. This bare branch is also the part of the Wreath Builder set. I've die cut it out of white cardstock and I'm also adding it to my flower arrangement. The window area looks a bit empty to me at the moment, so I've die cut this dog out of cream cardstock. I'm also going to use my craft knife and go around his head so that I will be able to lift it up. This is not necessary, but the reason I'm doing it is it makes it easier to add some shading to the different parts of his body. So I can go around his head this way as well as all around the outline of the dog, and it's going to create that feeling of depth and dimension. When I'm done with the shading, I'm going to attach the dog right in the center of the sofa. Although I have added quite a lot of elements to this card, still I feel I can add some more and it's not going to ruin my card. So I have those two bolsters and I've die cut them out of gold mirror cardstock and I'm attaching them right onto the sofa. Then I'm going to apply some adhesive onto them and apply the patterned paper once on top, and this way only the gold lining is going to show through. To tell you the truth, I really wanted to stop at this point, but I just couldn't, so I have decided to add a wreath as well. I have die cut the wreath out of darker and lighter shades of green paper, and I'm attaching the lighter piece on top to create the two-layer wreath. That wreath die is also a part of Window Edition's die set. I've die cut the wreath one more time, this time out of red paper, and I'm only going to use the berries. So I'm applying some liquid glue and I'm using the pickup tool to inlay each tiny red circle. Then I'm also going to add the red bow and top it with one golden circle, which is also the berry from the wreath. Of course, to do it, I also had to die cut the wreath out of gold cardstock. Now when my wreath is totally decorated, I'm applying some glue and I'm sticking it down onto the window, tucking it behind the curtains. Luckily, the Ranger Multimedia Matte Adhesive that I'm using dries clear and matte, so the traces of glue are not going to be visible at all. Since I have some red and golden berries left, I have decided to add some onto the pine branches. So again, I have applied some dots of liquid glue, and I'm using the pickup tool to place the berries onto that flower arrangement. I'm also going to add one golden berry to the poinsettia flower, and now my card is finished. I can only say one more time how much I enjoy creating the room scenes, because you can go crazy with the details or you can keep it pretty simple and minimalistic, and it's going to look different each time. I really encourage you to try this type of card making, and please feel free to share your projects using the hashtag #PaperDiscovery on social media. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back soon with the project number 6. Have a beautiful day.